The limbic system is your emotional and relational brain. And believe it or not, it is the real reason you're emotionally messed up. It's the part of your brain that bridges your survival instincts, which we've talked about in the video of the amygdala, with your emotions, memories, and behavior. So it's what allows you to feel and to connect and to remember. And while the prefrontal cortex helps you think and reason, and the amygdala helps you detect threat and keep yourself safe, the limbic system is what gives those thoughts and reactions emotional meaning. It's the system that determines how you feel about what is happening and how you should respond based on your past experiences, so based on what you already know. Now, this system isn't just one structure, it's a whole network made up of several key parts working together, which is the amygdala, the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, and parts of the cingulate cortex. You don't need to know the scientific terms. Again, I keep repeating it in my videos on neuroscience. You don't need to remember the terms. I just mention them for you to better understand how our brain works in the context of manifestation and psychology, right? Now, together, all of these parts of the brain, they regulate emotions, motivation, memory, and attachment. So you can think of it as the the emotional translator between your body and your mind. And it's constantly assessing what's happening around you and inside of you and deciding whether it feels safe or unsafe, pleasurable or threatening, motivating or familiar. So, your limbic system is where your emotional memory lives. And this is why sometimes, even when you cannot logically explain why you feel a certain way, your body reacts instantly and it's tightening up and it's shutting down and it's creating tears to relieve the pressure and it's flooding you with warmth or ease before your conscious mind has caught up. So your body has a reaction before you even understand what is happening mentally. The hippocampus, which is one of the main players in the limbic system, it stores the emotional context of what is happening. And this is what helps you remember where something happened, how it felt, and what the outcome was. Then, when a similar situation shows up again, your limbic system references that old memory that happened before and then instructs your body on how to respond based on how you responded before, right? Even if that response wasn't good. If the past experience was safe and fulfilling for you, your body relaxes, right? So you were at ease, you know it's not a bad thing. But if it was painful or uncertain or unsafe or just traumatizing to you, your amygdala fires up. And that's when your nervous system prepares to protect you again. That's when you get triggered again. That's when you put up your shield. And this is why emotional healing requires more than just understanding your story intellectually, right? You can have all the intellectual knowledge in the world on psychology and neuroscience and manifestation and all the things. You can know why you are the way you are. You can analyze your childhood, your patterns, your triggers. But until your limbic system learns that it's safe to feel and it's safe to love and it's safe to receive and to express and to pursue your dreams, your reactions will still come from that same old place. And that is because the limbic system doesn't respond to logic, it responds to the emotional experience that you have. So it learns through felt safety and emotional consistency, and not through analysis or mindset work alone. That's not how it works. And again, this is why hard work alone rarely works. If you want less work or hard work to work, you need to pair it with intense emotions and embodied feelings toward that goal that you want, which are going to be beneficial and sustainable toward that goal that you want. That is why for some people hard work works and for others it doesn't. For others it leads to burnout because you didn't pair it with intense positive emotion towards your end goal, right? Then it is also the part of your brain which is responsible for attachment and connection. So the limbic system is wired to seek co regulation, which means that your emotional brain developed through relationships, especially your earlier ones, right? Earlier in your life. So the tone of your parents' voice, your their facial expressions, their presence and absence, all of it, all of these aspects from your childhood shape the emotional blueprint that your limbic system now uses in adulthood. And it's not only your parents, right? It's any person that you surrounded yourself with, your authority figures, your grandparents, friends of the family, your friends, right? It could be anybody, a partner that you had at a childhood, boyfriend or girlfriend that you had at the time. All of these people influenced you, influenced your emotional parts as well. And that's why you might notice yourself attracting the same kinds of relationships over and over again, or why your nervous system feels safer in chaos and abandonment and rejection than in calm and stability and in peace. It's not a conscious choice necessarily, it's the imprint of your limbic memory. But while you couldn't control it back then, you can control it now. So you have no excuse anymore. You're a grown woman now, or man if you're watching this video. You can consciously choose different to change your subconscious and nervous system wiring. You cannot blame your past anymore. It can only serve you as an explanation of where your patterns come from, right? The responsibility to change them now is on you alone. You cannot blame anyone or anything else. Not your circumstances, not your family, not your friends, not your boyfriend or girlfriend, just you. And that's not to shame yourself, that's just the truth that you don't want to see. Now, in the context of embodiment and healing, what I mentioned before also means that you cannot just think your way into new emotional patterns. You have to feel your way into them. You have to let your body experience safety in the moments where it once felt unsafe. This is what begins to recondition the limbic system. Every time that you stay present with your emotions instead of dissociating or suppressing them, for example, you're teaching your limbic brain, your limbic system, that it's safe to feel. So every time you choose different, right? You choose a new way of reacting. Every time you speak up for yourself, for example, no matter the context, and still stay open to connection instead of spiraling and collapsing and over explaining or people pleasing. You're teaching your limbic system that acceptance and truth and being authentic and being yourself, they can all coexist. Every time you choose to self regulate instead of seeking external validation, you're rewiring your attachment system from external dependence to internal stability. So you're not dependent of anyone anymore. You're not dependent on external validation because you're giving that validation and a regulation to yourself. Then we have the hypothalamus, which is another key structure in the limbic system and which acts as the bridge between your emotions and your body. So when your amygdala signals a threat, for example, your hypothalamus releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which then shifts your body into fight, flight, or freeze. Okay? But when you feel calm or safe or connected, it releases oxytocin and dopamine instead, which promote bonding and trust and motivation and these good feelings. This is why your emotional state directly affects your hormonal balance, your digestion, your immunity, and overall your well being. This is also why you look uglier when you're entertaining all of that negative shit and stay in stress mode all the time. That's why you age faster. I mean, think about it. Why do you think the people that truly mastered their own systems and therefore manifestation and healing and all of those aspects, right? They have a certain glow about them. No matter who they are, no matter their age, no matter their color, their nationality, wherever they came from, they have a certain glow about them. It's because their body functions properly and healthily. I wish I was joking, but it is true. You basically age yourself faster and become uglier without this work. And I'm not talking about the aesthetics, I'm literally talking about what effect those negative aspects have on you, have on your health, have on your body, have on your longevity, right? When your limbic system is in chronic stress mode, your body never fully relaxes. So your sleep, energy, and mood, they all become dysregulated, whether you notice it or not. But when your emotional brain learns safety, your physiology follows as well. Your body begins to heal because your brain stops sending the signal that you're in danger, so it can just ease up again and relax. Because when you're in fight or flight, your body puts things like your digestion and your immunity on a hold, because that's not the most important thing. In that moment, the most important thing is survival. So all the other organs are less important. So they work less, so your body functions less. And that is not healthy, right? You're being dysregulated. And that is when you become sick. That is when more chaos happens. Now, the limbic system is also where emotional motivation comes from. It's what drives you toward what you want, right? When it's balanced, you feel inspired, you feel open, you feel creative and emotionally alive. But when it's dysregulated, that's when you swing between hyperarousal and shutdown, between overdrive and apathy. And this is why your emotional regulation and your goals are deeply connected as well. You cannot build your dream life or embody your highest self if your limbic system is still wired to believe that feeling joy, power, or success is unsafe. You will subconsciously sabotage the very things that you desire because your emotional brain still associates them with pain or rejection. So the work is not to suppress emotion or label it as negative, because they're all neutral. If you're acting from the 5D, everything is in union. The work is to create safety within it, to expand your emotional capacity so that you can hold more without collapsing. And that's what emotional mastery really means. It's not being numb, it's not suppressing, it's just being able to feel so deeply and still stay regulated and present. In the context of identity shifting and manifestation, your limbic system is the bridge between your subconscious beliefs and your physical reality. Because when your emotions are energy in motion, they are chemical and electrical signals that instruct your entire nervous system on how to behave. So, the quality of your emotional state determines the frequency that you emit and therefore the experiences that you attract. When you feel safe, empowered, and open, your limbic system sends signals of alignment throughout your entire body, which keeps your energy clear and coherent. But when you're trapped in fear again, and shame or self doubt, and all of these kinds of feelings, your limbic system stays in a loop of contraction, of on hold, signaling your body to stay small, to work less. And this is why your healing journey is not about becoming emotionless or constantly calm and zen and at peace. It's about learning how to meet every emotional wave with regulation and with compassion and with awareness, and then act accordingly. Act healthily. When your nervous system, when your limbic system learns that it's safe to feel, your emotional energy no longer controls you. You begin to consciously direct it. You choose. You become the one leading your emotional state instead of being at the mercy of it. And in short, your limbic system is the part of your brain that makes embodiment possible. It's where emotion and memory and connection really meet. And it's through healing this part of you that your nervous system finally feels safe enough to hold your expansion. Once your emotional brain learns that it is safe to experience life fully and authentically, your reality starts to mirror that safety back to you, right? You become magnetic not because you're forcing your positivity on things and people, but because your entire system has learned that safety and love and abundance are all natural states, and they are your natural state. And everything in this video is exactly what I teach in my Coming Home to Yourself membership. It's where you truly become your most confident, healthy, and healed and empowered self in order to create your dream reality, whatever that is. whatever that is. It can be applied to anything. And not only do you get the knowledge, like most spaces, you get a lot of intellectual knowledge, but I actually teach you how to apply it by yourself so that you can sustain your life vision long term and don't need anyone else to do it for you ever again. Because I want to teach you how to do it yourself. So you don't need to keep paying someone to do it for you or to help you do it. So get inside.